Hi Year 3, I am here again with another Pentecost skill update. We are looking at commas and inverted commas again. Hopefully you've seen the previous YouTube tutorial. This time we are looking at this skill in relation to our new text, the boy, the mole, the fox and the horse. So hopefully lots of it is revision and it's just more practice for you. So just to recap here of some of the skills that are on your 3-3 writing ladder. Hopefully you've had an opportunity to use some, if not all of those skills over the last few weeks. And today we're focusing on the commas and inverted commas section. So hopefully this is all revision for you. So we might use commas in a list. We might use commas to mark a subordinate clause. And then we should also be using a comma in speech. So hopefully you already know that inverted commas always come in pairs and go around the direct speech, what is actually said. So we need to make sure we are finishing the speech with either an exclamation mark, a question mark, or a comma, and closing the speech marks with the other inverted comma, and obviously a full stop at the end. So you can see we've got an example here showing where the comma goes, where the exclamation mark would go, and where the question mark goes. Now in our text there is lots and lots of speech because the boy asks so many questions. So if you can maybe pause the video that the teachers did and see if you can spot some of the speech in there, that would be really good as well. So hopefully we know that sometimes the direct speech, is the second part of the sentence, and it starts with the reporting clause, which is the bit that tells us who said it or how they said it, which obviously changes where the comma would go. So if you take a look at those examples, let's see if you can notice that that comma goes to mark the start of the direct speech, the end of the reporting clause. So some rules that we must follow. Hopefully we're following these already. New speaker, new line. Open the speech with the inverted commas. Capital letter at the start of speech. Correct punctuation. Close. So I would like to see if you can recognise those bits of punctuation that we have been talking about in some text. Now there is one picture that I have put in on the slide here, but you might have the actual book to have a look through. There is plenty of speech in there. Or you could maybe look on, you could pause this video and look on the book video with the pages on. Or you might just see if you can recognise some other bits of speech in any of the text that you've got handy. Hopefully you can see some commas, inverted commas here, question mark. You can't quite see the full stops, but I think that's just how the photograph has been taken. But I can assure you that full stops need to go at the end. So can you pause the video and point to the commas and inverted commas that you can find? Again, there's plenty of examples here. The boy asked so many questions, lots of speech. So let's see if we can use our knowledge to write a sentence. So you are going to see in a second some speech bubbles, and those speech bubbles obviously are what is said by the characters. You are then going to turn that into a full sentence using speech punctuation correctly and the reporting clause to tell us who said it, how they have said it as well. So my example, I've put, "Nothing beats kindness," the horse said wisely. Could you do your own sentence for that speech bubble? And maybe another one for the question that I've written as well. Think about who might be saying it, how they would say it. Are you going to have the speech first and then the reporting clause, or the reporting clause first and then the speech? So, like we did before, we're going to have a go at swapping those clauses. So, if we've got the speech at the beginning and then the reporting clause, we're then going to swap it. So, the reporting clause is at the start and the direct speech is at the end. Obviously, that's going to have to slightly change our use of punctuation and maybe the order of the words. And again, if we've got the reporting clause at the start, we're going to swap it around. Notice in this example, we've got a comma. The boy asked, comma. But in the second twist, we don't need the comma anymore. So now it's your opportunity to have a go at including speech into your extended writing. Hopefully you've maybe already started something. Maybe you could go back in and just check that you've got the direct speech in the right place, or add in a couple of sentences so you're using it correctly, and you're maybe using a range of different strategies and techniques. Or it might just be a one-off piece of writing. It's completely up to you. So, manipulating, hopefully you know that means to change and improve something by now. Thinking about all our previous writing ladders and how we can make our writing better. So again, you might work on something you've already written and use this as an opportunity to improve it, to check that you've got your inverted commas, your question marks, your exclamation marks in the right place, and maybe think about how you could use them more effectively. Or even adding in other skills or changing the vocabulary. So there we go. There are some activities that you might want to have a go at. But hopefully you've got enough to crack on with. With your writing, there is plenty of speech in there to have a look at, and try and create your own versions of the sentences that Charlie Mackesy has written. I'm looking forward to reading it. Bye.